Hi, I'm Gaia Sophia, and I'm a healer based in Squamish, British Columbia. And right now, I want to bring you a tool and technique how you personally can start to move out of the third dimension. So it sounds like a big new age catchword, but let me describe that a little bit more. So it's about moving out of polarity. So if you look at the earth as it is now, it's all divided. North Pole, South Pole, black, white, Republican, Democrat, like good, bad. Even in our mind, the way that we think about things, I like this, I don't like this. There's this one side or the other side. So as a somatic polarity therapist that I studied in 2005, how we created healing in the body was that we went to two opposite poles and we held space in each one equally until the energy ran between the two, and there wasn't any more, like one wasn't heavier than the other. The energy was equal in both. And from the place of equality, which we can also call neutrality, then the system wasn't in fight or flight, the system wasn't charged, and the body could actually rest in its true nature, which is wholeness, which is coherence. So with somatic polarity, we would, go into specific things to bring coherence. And what I'm inviting you to bring in now is something even larger. It's about bringing coherence into the inner conflict within so that you can start to rise above right or wrong, outside of judgment, and that you can start to see that there's another solution available that actually feels good to both parties. So it's rising above duality, it's rising above polarity, it's rising above conflict to hold the overarching frequency of love and potential. So from here, from our higher self, we have patience with we'll call them morphic fields, like thought forms of conflict and polarity within the earth realm. But the trick is to see them, maybe even to feel them, but to not get trapped by them. And right now, during this sacred time that we're in, these polarities within ourselves are actually really coming up to the surface, not to stay as the main story, but to cleanse themselves through you. So in energy work, when things come into your physical manifestation, they kind of come from, you can look at it two ways. Like everything begins from within and everything starts from within the heart. But just for teaching purposes right now, we'll say it's coming this way, that a new thought form is coming in this way, and then it goes through the nervous system, and then it manifests in the physical body. So when we want something to unmanifest through the physical body, from the physical body, it goes the opposite way. So it goes through your physical body, through the nervous system, and then it releases backwards out of your energy field. And then essentially it's sent back to the higher realms, to all that is, to be transmuted of its incoherence, of its energetic variance. So right now, you're having these old third dimensional patterns arise in your field, not to be the new story, but to be cleansed out of it. So you're having opportunity to see where there is a misalignment, where there isn't coherence. So in your higher self, the experience there is that things flow, you're coming from your heart, there's a win-win solution, you're of service, like things are working, you have new ideas, you're inspired, there's energy, there's health. So from this fifth dimensional self, there's also a strong boost to your immune system, which is the biggest support that you can give your 3D body right now, given the current world circumstances. So fear produces the same thing in your body that stress does, which depresses your immune system, which depresses your coherence, your wholeness. So I'm not saying you're wrong for feeling fear, that's a collective thing, but you're also transmuting it. And so be very mindful of where you look for your news sources, where you look for conversation and up level it, because that part of you exists too. And that is the point right now for us all to tap into. So let me give you a little exercise of how I tap into my higher self on a daily basis so that I come from a place of love and a place of win-win and a place of building my immune system, building my energy field so that I can be of service and of coherence to the people that I serve. So if you have followed me, if you know me, this is my favorite place to go. I go about 3 feet above my head into my higher self. So I bypass my physical body, my etheric and astral body, my emotional body, and my physical mind body. And I get into my higher self. So this higher self has connection to the high mind, which means it's like the eagle vision. It sees more than the conflict of polarity. So from here, we are guided. We all have a higher self. We all have higher guidance that helps us to see the bigger picture. It helps us to get out of the entanglement and into an expansive state. So I bring my awareness there, and then I imagine that it's like a huge sun beaming. So you can, from like the old sacred, beautiful paintings, the religious paintings, the Hindu texts of this halo around the head. So this is the higher self connecting into influencing the physical human experience. So when you connect into your higher self, like very few people actually hear like, hey Gaia, like do this. It's more like an inspiration of a feeling of warmth, of love, of a gentle nudge, of a gentle thought, but they don't come banging on your door. They aren't rude, they are loving, they whisper and they wait for you to reach it and play with it and act on it. And that's your free will choice. So what I'm guiding you to is giving you some tools as a free will human being, how to access places within you that have more potential for a different reality that isn't out of fear or lack by any means, but it is of a wind stream that you can follow that will guide you to your greatest dreams, even within the context of the world that we're in right now. Okay. 3 feet above your head. Drawing that energy down like liquid sunshine. Through my inhale, I'm pulling the energy down through my chakra system, through my central column of my spine, through all of my brain cells, through my eyes, through my chest, through my circulatory system. Exhaling it, making sure I go all around my body, and I'm exhaling and letting it go into the earth. Now, to connect in, to make coherence between my higher self and my 3D self, I go into my heart. So there's a sacred place within the heart. You have your inner child here. You have your divine child here. You have that part of your soul that has also experienced incarnation after incarnation that hasn't always been favorable. And so there's a lot of stories and beliefs that are coming up from that place that it is the time right now to let that go. And no one's going to force you. No one's going to make you. But it's up to you, and your greatest treasure, your greatest dream is on the other side of letting that go. So what we do to facilitate that is first to tap into that higher self and to ask our guides to give them permission to assist on creating coherence between the 5D self and the 3D self, because we're going to be living in two worlds right now. And part of our duty at the moment is to detox from our third dimensional reality. It's to detox from our fears. It's to detox from that inner child that wasn't always held in divine love by its parents, by the environment, by school, by the medical system. Like there's all kinds of programmings that made that inner child feel unsafe. So our job right now is just hold it in the safety of your higher self and allow the bridge between the two. So remember what I said, the polarity. In polarity therapy, you bridge the two and you wait until they are in coherence. And then they're tapped into the healing of all that is, and it takes care of itself. It's a wise system. It knows what to do. We just help it along. And part of that is our free will. So in my mind's eye right now, I have my intention on my higher self and in my heart. And I tell my guides that it is my intention to have coherence from my 3D self to my 5D self. It is my intention to come from a place of love and to have compassion for my fears, but I am not my fears. And I see the energetic field, the morphic field of fear for what it is. And I give myself permission to rise above. And you just sit here. Let them be in coherence. And then the proof is in the pudding. Like, that's your day. Like, who's around you? Who gets attracted to you? How do you feel? Where's your thoughts at? Like, that's your sovereignty, your mindset, your thoughts, your consciousness, that's your sovereignty. And so regardless of what your situation is right now, this is a place that you can tap in for instant empowerment, instant boost to your immune system, and to start bringing coherence to this great change that is upon us.